How does the She-Hulk premiere compare to other Marvel series? Are hot dog flavored chips good? And what future Marvel movie and series are we most excited about? Well, I talk about all that and more on this episode of the Toddcast. Hello everyone and welcome to the Toddcast. As always, I'm your host, Todd McManus, and today is a very special episode because joining me once again, he has been on here numerous amounts of times. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a good friend of mine, Mr. John Wright. John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
And, we're just going to go ahead and start with the good stuff, is what I like to call it. We both like talking about food. We both like eating food, reviewing different types of food. We're going to go ahead and review two different types of chips that I got from Circle K. They're Circle K brand chips. The first one we're going to do is Sweet Mesquite barbecue chips. Are you a barbecue chip fan? Because I know a lot of people are.
You know, I don't claim to be, but I feel like I'm a closeted barbecue chip fan.
Like you are, but you don't want to be known as one.
Yeah. They taste good, I think, but
I've
never admitted it.
Lay's has like a honey barbecue flavor too. If you're a fan of like honey barbecue.
Yeah. I don't know. They do taste good.
They are pretty good, so.
Okay. There's a lot of crunch. It's very stiff.
It's a very hard barbecue flavor up front. That's what I'm getting from it. It's not bad.
The chip is very crunchy.
Oh, well, it's kettle cooked.
Yeah.
That's why it's super crunchy.
It is the standard barbecue flavor where your tongue goes numb, or maybe that's just me and I'm allergic to barbecue sauce. I don't know. But
I know what you're talking about.
My tongue is going numb a little bit. I wonder why that happens. There must be pineapple juice in barbecue sauce.
There's some type of it's potatoes, of course, vegetable oil, sugar, salt, paprika for the color, cornstarch, tomato powder, spice, onion powder, Torula yeast, garlic powder, actual paprika, yeast extract, and just mesquite smoke flavoring. And they're made in Arizona. But they're not bad, honestly.
I like them.
On the scale of 0 to 100 with no decimals, where are you thinking you putting them? You putting them on up there?
Let's see.
We'll average our score. Well, I think straight up, I'll give them an 80.
I was gonna say 85.
Yeah, so
that's a good chip.
That's an 82.5 for those.
That's good.
It's solid. Out of all the barbecue I've had, because we've all
especially from a store.
This is a gas station brand.
Yeah.
Because it's Circle K brand, and it's really nice orange coloring to it. You can see the spices on it.
This is good.
It's probably one of the best barbecue chips I've had. Because Lay's barbecue, and then there's Fritos barbecue and all that. But that's good. So the next chip that I don't think both of us are excited about is also Circle K brand. These are grilled hot dog flavored with mustard, relish, and onion on a hot dog, all compressed and made into a Ruffles type chip.
What does it smell like, Todd? It smells like pickle relish.
I don't like pickles.
Oh no!
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow!
Knew that was gonna happen.
I hate mustard with a passion.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm about to throw up.
That's the trash can. If you don't know, John he hates mustard
and mayo.
He hates mustard and mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is not in the thing. Is not on this.
It's not, but mustard is, and that's enough.
Yeah, but you can just drink you some Diet Coke. I got water. But here, eat some barbecue chips to take the flavor away, because that'll definitely take it away. They'll help you. They'll save you.
I'll try.
Here's the, the trash can.
Wow.
Here, I'll just put these back in the bag then. So, grilled hot dog. Very different flavor than I would have thought.
I don't know why I tried that, Todd, because I don't like hot dogs. I don't like pepper relish.
You don't like mustard.
I don't like mustard, and I don't like raw onions.
So this was like
that was all the
your
I
nemesis chip, almost. So they're going over there. We're gonna keep eating these,
Todd,
though.
On a scale to 0 to 100 with no decimals, what would you rate that chip?
I mean, I finished it. I don't really like mustard or relish. I like onions. I'm not a fan of hot dogs because you never know what they are. Like, the best thing on a hot dog is the bread.
Yeah.
Like, I could sit around and probably eat hot dog buns all day, but the actual wiener is terrible. I would give it... I mean, I would give it like a 40. Like, that's probably higher than you think.
Wow.
I'd give it only because I didn't gag.
Wow.
Well, no, I changed my answer.
Higher.
I'll give it a 35. The only reason is because whenever I go down to the 20s and 30s is because I gag and have to spit it out. I've basically had to force myself to finish it. Mm-hmm. And that's why I give it a 35. You're probably going to give it like a 2 or something.
I've tasted worse things, so I can't give it a low number.
You can't give it like below 10 or something. That's why I said 35.
I'm thinking 12.
12.
I'm thinking 12. There have been at least 12 things I've tasted that were worse than that.
Well, that average, between both of us, it averages to a 23.5. Which, I think that score just deserves that only because, one, you may or may not gag, and two, there's probably people who actually like that.
Yeah, and I'm...
Joey Chestnut, the hot dog
I'm scared of them.
The hot dog eating contest winner, is probably like that.
Couldn't be me.
See, now it's all over. My mouth just fully tastes like barbecue chips now.
I don't know why people like the taste of something that's so overbearing.
Mustard?
When you eat mustard on anything, you don't know what you're eating.
You're basically eating solid mustard.
Yes,
that's what
it's
it turns
so
into.
strong. You couldn't tell me that you were eating a hamburger, a hot dog, or anything based off the taste. Maybe texture. But, like, you wouldn't know. Because it's so mustardy.
Because it's just mustard.
Yeah.
Just a solid. They made mustard from a liquid to a solid is all it turned into.
It's gross. I dropped a chip there.
Oh.
My bad.
Well, the sweet mesquite at 82.5 and grilled hot dog at 23.5.
Yeah.
Very different. Those are like polar opposites almost. Because of just the amount of...
I'm still trying to get that mustard taste out of my nose. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how I can taste it in my nose, but it's happening.
I think it's because you were gagging.
Could be.
Because, like that moment whenever like you throw up, and then it's like if it's real bad, you got something coming out of your nose. I think that's what it was.
It might be.
Which is gross, but it's true, So anyway, that was limited edition grilled hot dog.
I know.
All the others they had were regular, which was like original flavored salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion, like those type, just your generic flavor, and then the sweet mesquite, which is kettle cooked, and then they had a bunch of Lay's and everything else. But I saw and Circle K has their own brand of pork rinds, so they do pork rinds and chips, So
I like good pork.
Like they're a good brand for doing this. I appreciate them trying, because that is like Pringles level flavors is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get out of the box to do stuff. But for both of us, I had to force it down, and as soon as you put it in your mouth, your body was rejecting
Convulsing.
it. So literally, I wish I had a video of that. That was so funny. You put it in your mouth and it was like, here, let's try this chip. I probably won't like it. You put it in your mouth and immediately went like an anaconda. Like you just started like, just opened up.
Let's see if I've changed my mind. Let's try it again.
I don't think so. So, with all that being said, we've talked about this before, and I've talked about it a lot, actually. Not recently, but I talked about it with Jaron. I think I've mentioned it with you and Jaron before. Mm-hmm. And it's the titled Undisputed Fast Food Tier List. Now, when it comes to fast food, I just want to ask you right off the bat, out of all the fast food places, which some of these do not have drive-thrus, but that's what I consider, like Waffle House, they consider a fast food place. And Denny's, you know. But that's that weird, like, sit-down chain restaurant, you know. So,
I feel like if it's not faster than a normal restaurant, it's not fast food. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you sit down at Waffle House, and you have to wait a normal amount of time for your food. So
true. Like, they consider, like, Waffle House, Starbucks, only because that's drive-thru.
I can see Starbucks being fast food.
So it's like anything with a drive-thru, like Chick-fil-A, Panda, Taco Bell. Out of all the fast food places you've ever been to, the chain-wise, what would you consider as like an S-tier fast food restaurant?
S as in superior?
Yeah. Like it's S, and then it goes down A, B, C, D, and F. There's no E. Like S is, every time you go, it's really good, or you have some type of sentimental connection to it, like when you were younger and you went with like a grandparent or some family member, you know. Like, a lot of people consider Chick-fil-A as S tier because it's always good. They're not, and the service, they're nice.
But they hate the gays, so.
True.
You know.
Some people have said that they would put them in A only for that point, you know?
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's like, they're really good, but it's that a lot of people consider that the board or the people in charge of Waffle House may not be the best when you think about it, but that's why they're like, hey, we'll just put it in A because they're really nice. I mean, the people are hardly ever rude, you know, and they always say that, my pleasure, you know. But
I would possibly say Five Guys
as S tier.
Possibly. I've always enjoyed my experiences going into Five Guys.
Yeah.
Maybe In-N-Out. Possibly.
Yeah. The In-N-Out's not even on this list, but I think it's just because this is the list they've been to these places. So it's like In-N-Out, I've never been to. So I just like assume it's A or S tier. Yeah. Like same way with Shake Shack.
Shake Shack?
Yeah.
Is an S tier.
Because In-N-Out is the West Coast and Shake Shack is the East Coast. And like I'll just go over what they have in Phenomenal, which is their S tier. Panda Express.
Yeah.
Taco Bell. Chick-fil-A. Little Caesars. CC's Pizza. Denny's.
You joking with me right now?
And Annie Ann's Pretzels.
Okay. The last one, yeah. I can't agree with all of those.
No, I think Denny's is like a D.
Alright.
Or a C.
I did have a very good experience with Denny's one time, and I've never been since. It was when I was 6 years old. I had a plate of fries, right?
Yeah.
So I took this plate of fries and I built the tallest tower I could. Like Lincoln Logs, you know? And
like
it was
like log cabin style.
It was like this high.
Yeah.
For a 6-year-old. So maybe it was like half that height for regular person.
But it looked like a gigantic tower.
Yeah, like 2 foot tall. And the workers came up and they were like, dude, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Can I take a picture of this? And they had like a disposable camera with them for some reason because this was 2006. So they took a picture of it. I stuck like a toothpick into some ketchup and like stuck it on top so it looked like one of those blinking red lights. Like I was creative with this. And that was my experience at Denny's.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
The only time you've ever been to Denny's.
And that was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
So, like...
shout out to Denny's in Myrtle Beach. I don't know if you're still open, but you guys...
You got to go back there now and rebuild the tower and hope somebody's there that's worked then. So, like, off of that experience, I feel like that's a good experience. Just a B tier, honestly.
Yeah, that's a B tier.
You know. But, like, Panda Express...
I agree.
As S. Taco Bell...
I don't agree.
Every Taco Bell I've been to, the service is not that good.
Exactly.
But the food, it's all the same, just wrapped in a different way.
I feel like, but You know, if I had a soft taco that was wrapped with some love, I'd be able to taste that. And I can't taste it when I go to Taco Bell. I can taste it when I go to Taco Bandito.
Yeah.
It's in the cheese.
Oh, well, but, yeah, true.
But, you know, you can just tell that they went threw all your stuff on there. Like, they were so mad that they had to make 14 tacos because you were extra hungry that night. No, I can't help that I'm hungry at 2 a.m., but I'm going to get that bag of tacos, you know?
True. Well, I think Taco Bell is, like, that sentimental is the only thing of that. If you're out late, and Taco Bell is definitely, like, it's in that category with it and Waffle House and other places and, like, Denny's of that. They're open either really late or 24 hours. Yeah. You go inside, and if you're, like, had a party and you're either drunk or hungover, that's that category of places you just go to eat at because that's really all that's open. You know, like IHOP.
Can't go to Walmart anymore.
No, no, they close at like 10 or 11 nowadays. Yeah. Little Caesars. Mm-hmm. What's your experience with Little Caesars pizza?
It's always cheap.
But is it good?
It's not great. You know, it just kind of tastes like really chewy,
like frozen pizza, or
but not like wet chewy. I don't know. Kind of like cardboardy. I don't know. With some. So
is it like when you take I've had it once, I think, but it's like you bite into it and you have to actually. If you have to fight your pizza when you take a bite, then it's not the best made pizza.
You have to fight it.
What about CC's?
CC's is like a buffet place.
I think that's the only reason it's that good, because they said imagine like Little Caesars or something that's buffet only.
Yeah. No, that place never disappointed me. But they're not like prevalent.
Yeah.
You don't see them.
I mean, we had one and it's closed. I've been to one when I was a kid, and that was the last time I ever went when I was like 5 or 6 years old.
You don't see them that often.
And then Annie Ann's. Those pretzels are good.
Those pretzels slap. I started dating a girl who worked there, and I got diabetes. I tell you what. I would eat all of the leftovers.
Oh, God.
So many pretzels.
So much bread.
Think about it. You got the salted. You got the unsalted. You got the cinnamon sugar. You got the whatever they do with the... They, like, make a pizza one. That was a thing for a while.
I didn't know
with,
that.
Like, pepperoni and cheese. I was eating all that.
The pizza
it was
pretzel?
So good. And I still love it to this day. But I am diabetic now, and I do blame...
That was a lot of buttery, salty bread at that point.
And the really good, like, white stuff that you put on the cinnamon sugar one, you know, that you dip it in.
Like some dippable icing or something like that. Yeah.
Now I'm diabetic.
That's all they consider phenomenal. Some of those we kind of agree with, and some of those we don't. But as good, which is your A tier, there's a lot. So we'll just go through these one by one.
Okay.
Where do you stand with KFC?
They've never done me wrong. I think it tastes pretty good.
At least A. Because usually it's the service that's not the best. Because that's
what Popeyes ain't on tier with Popeyes. It's a B. Popeyes is an A.
Okay, well then Popeyes is on here with KFC. They consider Popeyes, KFC, and Wendy's all in the same tier.
Nope, KFC's a B.
Popeyes is an A.
Yeah, it is.
What about Wendy's?
Yeah, because I can buy like 100 chicken nuggets for like $2. That is an A tier. I don't care if they don't taste good. I can buy so many chicken nuggets.
It's just such a good deal that considers it such a high tier.
Where else are you getting a deal like that? Nowhere.
Not unless you're getting it from the frozen department.
Exactly.
That's like...
Exactly.
Like, the only way you're getting that deal is if you have to do it yourself.
It's basically a drive-through frozen department.
I never thought about it like that. The square patties. Wendy's is just a drive-through frozen department.
It's very convenient, you know?
So, with Waffle House.
Mm-hmm. I'll give it an A.
I would say A or S, because it's usually the service, but I mean, back in the day before COVID and way back in the day, the people who worked at Waffle House were the trustees from prisons.
Mm-hmm. And they take care of you.
And they're not, you know, they're not going to get out and be a trustee and just poison your Waffle House food or something, you know. And then now it's like, you know, just like a mixture of that sometimes, and regular people that just get a job at Waffle House because they need the money.
Yeah.
But It's A or S because every time I go, they're nice. Every Waffle House I've been to.
Yeah.
And I've been to Waffle Houses in like 3 or 4 different states.
The food is satisfying to eat.
Yeah. Like it's so greasy, and I understand people may not like that.
That's why I didn't say good.
And it's it's open 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like if you're hungry and you're just roaming around at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Mama Waffle House will take care of it.
Yeah. Starbucks.
I'll give it an A.
I don't like coffee. So,
well, their food is good.
I had sparkling water from there, and sparkling water sucks.
I eat their they have like croissant like sandwiches, egg, cheese, and bacon. I eat those. Bacon, egg, and cheese.
They're a good breakfast place.
Yeah. I do like. I drink a sugar-free vanilla latte, which is basically like almost like warm chocolate milk, but it tastes
no
a little
sugar.
bit more like coffee.
Yeah,
and it's also vanilla.
And has all that caffeine that you need.
It doesn't taste like a regular coffee. It's more of like a chilled out version of a coffee.
Yeah. Like it gives you your caffeine, but it's just diet is all it is.
Yeah, it's not gonna make you like poop everywhere.
So, which on the other side of it, I guess that I could say Starbucks is a competitor to is Dunkin'. You don't like Dunkin', or they just kind of
Dunkin' can take a B or a C, maybe even a C with my experiences.
Bad, just because of the service, or is the food just
Both, and the drinks.
So Dunkin' is definitely worse than Starbucks.
Like generally, like I've gone to a Dunkin' in states that are. I think I went to one in Georgia, one in Florida, one in Shreveport, and then one Oregon. And they all gave me not good.
No matter where it's at across the whole country, it's still pretty bad.
All of them was a uniquely bad experience.
Oh. Well, also in the same category as Waffle House, I guess you can consider as IHOP.
Mm-hmm.
I would give IHOP like a B.
I give it an A. It's like
is that good?
It's more family oriented than a Waffle House, you know?
Yeah.
I remember
IHOP is like Waffle House, but instead of waffles, it's pancakes. But it's like you said, it's more family because I would consider it more of a sit down restaurant, while Waffle House has the diner feeling to it.
Yeah.
So, and then have you ever been to Moe's Southwest Grill?
Yeah,
it's
delicious, dude.
Is it up there?
They used to have chips and salsa when I went. I was probably like 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's the best chips and salsa. Oh my god, and their chips and queso.
Like Moe's is probably like A.
I give it an S.
Or Moe's is S. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well then, I'm just going all over the place. Not really in any category, but Steak and Shake. Okay. It's either A or S. I've only been there once.
Yeah.
So like my one experience was S, but it could be worse. Just I'm giving it breathing room with an A. You know, Cold Stone Creamery. Any experiences there? It's just a.
It's like a B. You wouldn't think.
Is it not good ice cream or?
It wasn't that great.
Oh, it just tastes like Walmart brand ice cream or something.
No, Walmart brand is like better.
So it's like
no offense, Cold Stone Creamery, but I do like
Walmart's
Great Value brand.
True, so Walmart they know what they're doing with Great Value,
especially like the cookie dough.
True. Well then staying in that Dunkin' area as well. What about Krispy Kreme?
I don't like donuts, so
you're not a donut guy. Oh well, yeah.
I don't give a crap.
What else do they serve? Do they serve anything else?
Maybe
donuts,
coffee.
donut holes.
Maybe coffee.
I think they do coffee and like drinks, like Diet Coke or Pepsi or whatever, you know. Well, then we go over to Chipotle. You don't like Chipotle, do you?
I don't.
Okay. Because I always hear people rave about their guac and their queso.
I've had fresh Tex-Mex, so it's like...
Because Chipotle is supposed to be like a Mexican version of Subway, but not as good.
But I've eaten like Javi Peas and...
Javi Peas. I've had Javi Peas once, and it's S tier.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had it like
Javi
a couple
Peas
months
is a
ago.
Much better version of Chipotle.
I had Javi Peas for my first time back in like May of this year.
Didn't I tell you about it?
Yeah. You told me, you were like, you gotta go, and then I was like, I'll go eventually, and I went like back in May or June, and I was like, oh,
it's good.
Why have I not been?
It is an S tier, I will say.
Javi Peas not on this list, but good
and
lord.
It's fast food.
It is fast food
Subway,
because it's like Chipotle, but local and better.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Chipotle. I just need to go to Chipotle because it's just one of those places that people are like, you gotta go.
Yeah.
So I just want to go to experience that. Panera Bread.
I think they have soup, don't they?
They do have soup.
I really like their soup.
They have like potato and like broccoli cheddar soup too.
I'll give it an A.
Okay. Sbarro Pizza.
I'll give it an A.
Sbarro, while it's mall pizza,
that's my childhood.
Never lets down.
No, it's delicious. It's greasy as heck, but it's delicious.
Like, to me, Sbarro is better than Pizza Hut.
Yes.
Pizza Hut is cardboard pizza. Is it better
than Johnny's? It's in a different realm than Johnny's to me.
Because Sbarro is just mall pizza. Johnny's is...
Sbarro is what I imagine pizza from New York, like gourmet pizza.
Because it's just huge New York style slices.
Yeah, so like Sbarro's imitating gourmets, but like Johnny's is like, we are our own thing. We're crazy as hell. And
yeah, Johnny's
this is pizza.
It's so good. I love Johnny's.
It's revolutionary. They're two different beasts.
Sbarro, yeah, well, I understand what you say. Sbarro is basically like great value version of New York gourmet pizza, basically. It's still good.
It's delicious.
It's still like, you still eat it, you know. Like, whenever I would go to the mall, the only choice is, like, Chick-fil-A's there, but there's always like a million people.
Yeah.
Cane's is there, but there's always a lot of people. Yummy Japan, you know, it's okay. But I would rather go to, like, Ronin or somewhere else, you know, to get actual good sushi. But then Sbarro, right next to, like, the Verizon store or whatever.
Used to be a Mexican place over there too. They closed that.
Was it closed before, or was it closed because of COVID?
I think it was closed before.
Because I remember it being there.
But something that goes with dating someone who worked there, a lot of those stores would close because they had like big rat infestations.
I heard the same thing.
And
because it's a mall,
I've never wanted to eat there again. Like
I never got any food from there because I was like, I don't think mall Mexican food is gonna be good. So, White Castle. Mm-hmm. Have you been to one?
I have. It's about an A. Maybe a B.
Yeah.
I'd put it
because you can get that briefcase of the sliders.
It's been so long since I've tried. I need to go to a White Castle. I'm gonna go.
Where's the closest White Castle?
No clue.
It's probably in like Vicksburg or Jackson, Mississippi. Honestly,
let's find out.
Where is the closest White Castle? Probably either that or somewhere in Arkansas.
You are correct. There's one in Arkansas.
Where, El Dorado or Hamburg?
Oh, whoa.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's one in Louisiana, but it's got to be either in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, or New Orleans. That's the only places. If there's not one, that's fine. Like, I know, but
apparently,
what are we looking at?
There's one in the state of Louisiana. Wait. Two.
Are they in the same place?
No, wait. Are you kidding with me right now?
Where?
Oh, no. There's one in the state of Louisiana. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And it's in New Orleans.
New Orleans has that, and they have a Shake Shack in New Orleans. Because I know that's the only ones that we have.
377 locations across 13 states.
I thought there was more of them.
Yeah, there used to be.
I guess unless COVID killed a bunch of them.
I want to know which states they're in. Founded in Kansas.
That makes sense.
Greatest president in the Midwest and New York metropolitan area.
So it's just in the flat states and New York. Okay. Because I know there's definitely some in Texas, because everything's in Texas. And then New Orleans makes sense. There's got to be at least one. There's always one. We always have one of something in Louisiana, and it's usually in New Orleans or Baton Rouge.
Yeah, there's like so many in Tennessee. like
20 of them?
A lot. Missouri's got a lot. Kentucky's got a few. Indiana's got like 12. Maybe more.
So it's just it's a Midwest thing because they're not predominant in the South.
Yeah, I have had it. I want to say I had it in South Carolina.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. It's kind of like is it Hardee's?
Hardee's and Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar to that.
Well, how about you give like A or B? What is your rating for Dairy Queen?
Ooh, that's good. That's really good.
Their food is all right, but the blizzards is what's happening.
Yeah. I'm thinking I could give it a B. But
a B?
Yeah, but only because I don't really like the gimmick where they like turn the thing.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
What's necessary?
It's so stupid. You know?
God, it is raining.
It is raining.
Really hard.
I just got up to check to see if the air was on because I keep hearing this sound.
No,
and I'm
that's
like,
rain.
no, it's literally like hurricane like pouring down. It's not a hurricane, but it's pouring down right now.
The road already had an inch of water over the top of it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to leave, Todd.
You got it. Look, we'll help you out. So anyway.
Yeah, sure thing. My car. My car's got to get
Yeah,
out.
we got you.
Okay.
So, Dairy Queen B, I'd give it an A. Only because
I don't like the gimmick.
I ate their food during college. Their burger's not that bad.
The chicken's not bad.
Yeah.
I like the chicken.
And the blizzards are great.
Yeah. Fries.
But, like you said, and they have cheese curds.
Cheese curds are good.
But it's like you said, and they were always nice to me. But it's that deadgum flipping the thing.
Yeah,
when I'm trying to it's just an extra step while my hand's already out there to grab it, and they're trying to dump it on the floor. You know.
You ever seen Mad Men?
No, I know about it.
So it's like TV show kind of about like marketing in the like 50s and 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody at Dairy Queen came up with a marketing idea. We're going to turn this thing upside down. I bet they did not expect people to be like, that is so stupid. Like, 20 years later, we're over here. What are they thinking? That is the dumbest thing. I bet they didn't imagine that.
Probably not. They probably thought it was the most genius idea that they could ever come up with.
Oh, people are going to recognize it. Like, yeah, they will, but...
Well, it's like they need something to be remembered by, but, like, their ice cream is what they're known for.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I was young and we would go get ice cream, it was a few years before I realized they actually serve real food other than ice cream. I thought the way that, like, Krispy Kreme is with donuts is the way Dairy Cream was with ice cream.
Yeah.
I thought that's what they were. Like, they serve drinks. You can get, like, a Diet Coke or root beer and a Blizzard, you know. But Dairy Queen's up there B or A.
Good ice in their drinks, too.
True.
I like their ice.
So... in the realm of pizzas, we'll stick with some fast food pizzas here for a minute. Domino's.
As a college student at Tech, I ate Domino's way more than I ever should. And I hate it at this point. But I did rely on it. I'm going to give it a C.
C for the Domino's.
Not that good.
Yeah. It's not... a lot of fast food pizza's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sbarro, like we said, is good, but it's mall pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut, not good.
Mm-hmm.
Domino's, not that good. Little Caesars is...
Papa John's.
Papa John's is... I had it once and it was pretty good.
I like their sides. Like their cheese bread, stuff like that.
What's another place on here that's pizza? Well, there's not really any other pizza on here.
Who else does pizza?
There's Pizza Hut, Papa John's, Little Caesars, CC's, Domino's. There's nobody else that does fast food pizza other than Fox's and Johnny's, but they're local. Yeah. Just fast food pizza is just something that a lot of people, they can't figure out.
None that we have around here. I'm sure there's fast food pizza places that are like all over the country, but
probably
we don't have them.
But around here, fast food pizza doesn't really go well.
Yeah.
So also on here, Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I ain't never heard of that my entire life. What is that?
I've been there. It's kind of like Starbucks, but instead of coffee, it's smoothies.
Can I see the
logo? Never seen that.
It's all. I've never gotten a smoothie from there, but you can get like real fruit smoothies, blueberry stuff. They make like an acai smoothie is what they do. They have like fruit and bowls. They do wraps and like little sandwiches, like clubs and all those types of sandwiches. It's a nice place, you know. It's real small. It's about as big as like a Starbucks would be, and they got a drive-through, all that kind of stuff. Like it's not bad. It's a place, you know, that you can check out and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Okay.
So apparently there is Ben & Jerry's, the ice cream. There's apparently a physical location somewhere. There's a physical brick and mortar Ben & Jerry's.
I believe I've been to a Ben & Jerry's before.
I have not. But
I believe I have.
But if we were to have a Ben & Jerry's physical location, would you prefer it over any of the other ice cream places? Because I mean, it's Ben & Jerry's.
I would.
It's Ben & Jerry's, you know.
I would. I absolutely would.
Long John Silver's.
That can go all the way to the bottom of the list.
Like below F.
Any fast food that is like
fish,
seafood oriented, all the way at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, especially if it's fish. Now, like Popeyes has shrimp, and it's okay,
but it's not oriented to seafood.
No, they're oriented
to chicken.
Yeah.
So or like Louisiana cooking.
Yeah. Long John Silver's is meant
straight up fish.
Fish, yeah. It's meant for fish. So it's not good.
No way I would ever visit.
Have you ever been to one? Or is it just the premise that you don't want to go?
My grandparents' anniversary one time. and I hate it. Absolutely hate it. What's the other Captain D's?
Captain D's, yeah.
Hate it. Can't stand it. You know how I hate mustard? I hate fish food restaurants that are fast.
Yeah, the only good fish you can get from a restaurant has to be a sit down like Catfish Charlie's type restaurant.
Not even. I hate fish in general.
Yeah.
So like.
But if you were to prefer, you know, fast food fish would be way less better than an actual fried fish southern restaurant. You know, like Catfish Charlie's, Scott's Catfish, those types of places are good. But like Long John Silver, whenever you get a Long John Silver's, they're always the same shape.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to a Long John Silver's or Captain D's, but you know, it's just gross. You know.
Yeah. The only fish I'll ever eat is salmon, and it has to be frozen to kill parasites.
Okay.
That is the only fish I eat.
Understandable. Have you ever been to Bojangles?
Yeah.
Is it good? People said it was like East Coast version of Popeyes because they got that biscuit. Because from what
so.
It's like it's based or mainly from the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, and that Virginia or that area. And some people have said it's like Popeyes is Southern, Bojangles is East Coast because they got the chicken and they have that biscuit was the main thing that they give you. I've never been. I would like to go to one eventually.
I'd put it on the same level as Church's chicken.
Church's is good. It's not bad.
There you go.
But Church's is pretty good. I've had it once.
I might put those two on the same level with KFC. Maybe. Okay, hear me out. Maybe between KFC and Popeyes. If there was like a...
Like they'd be like...
There was like a B.A.
or like it's that middle, like, and they're on the line in between B and A. Like A minus or B plus.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Yeah. Because Church's, I've been there once and it's, God, it's so good. The chicken is really good. It's really good. But Popeyes is just on another level of what they do with their chicken. Yeah. Also, which we can go into the sandwiches, just get them out of the way. Firehouse Subs.
You know?
Never been or don't like?
Never been. I go to Subway.
Well,
I've never been to Jimmy John's. Never been to Firehouse.
Jersey Mike's.
Never been to Jersey Mike's.
Okay, well then Subway.
Because Subway has a spicy Italian, and that's what I eat.
So S tier for Subway, or A, or below.
I give it a B. Even though I love it, I'll give it a B.
But you understand, like...
I understand that it's very hard to keep things fresh. And they try their best. But I wouldn't advertise it as like a eat fresh place, you know?
Yeah.
Their food's not always that fresh.
No.
You can taste
Especially if all that food and they don't restock during the day.
Yeah.
And then you have ham and turkey and everything sitting out in the middle of the open there.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all those restaurants that do stuff like that, like Subway, Chipotle, like leaving Hoppy Peas out of the equation, Subway does it the best. Because what other place is that where you look through that little like screen?
Yeah.
Besides like Mongolian Grill does something like that, but you pick all that food yourself and then they cook it.
Yeah.
But saying like, ooh, I want this, ooh, I want that, out of Chipotle, Subway, and other fast food main places like that, I think Subway does it the best.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree.
Javi P's, locally, really good. But Subway, like, I get Subway at least like once or twice a week. Like, because I know, like, you're like a advocate for Subway at this point. So, I was going to talk about Firehouse, Jimmy John's, and Jersey Mike's. Never been, but you've never been
I'm
either.
sorry.
Have you been to Checkers or Rallies?
Checkers, yes.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I've heard the fries are just really good.
Yeah, I'd give it a B.
Okay. McDonald's. No, we got to go to McDonald's in that area. Like, I should have done it with Wendy's, but McDonald's has got to be C for me.
I give it a C.
Because I don't like the food.
I don't.
The fries are okay. That's the number. If I had to get something from McDonald's, it'd either be the fries, maybe the nuggets.
But what about when they're cold? I can't eat a McDonald's fry if it's cold.
But the McDonald's Sprite hits different.
The Sprite does hit.
Yeah.
The Sprite hits.
Like they do something.
And if you get an Oreo McFlurry with M&Ms in it, that hits.
If the thing works.
If the thing works. Which that might dock it down to a D.
And their service, not always the best.
Might be docked down to a D because of those two.
The service isn't that good and the ice cream machine never works.
Yeah.
It's just like...
And I know damn well they can fix that problem if they wanted to.
Yeah. But they choose not to for some reason.
Exactly.
Have you been to a Cinnabon place?
Yeah.
Is it...
It's good. It's not as good as Annie Ann's.
So like a B or A? A B?
I'm going to give it a B.
Del Taco.
Del Taco's pretty good, dude. I've been to a few Del Tacos. They're better than Taco Bell, but not better than Taco Bandito.
So like Bandito is S.
Yeah.
Del Taco would be A.
Mm-hmm.
Taco Bell's like in the B area.
Yes.
All right, we're talking about the pizza. Einstein Bros.
Ain't never heard of that.
They're at ULM.
Really?
Yeah, they're in the
Where?
sub. They were in the sub. That before COVID, whenever you walked in, not the hub, the new building. When you go in the sub, like whenever you're on Desired, the main road.
You're assuming I know the name of the roads.
Whenever you're on the main road and you're driving, and ULM is on your right, like
Yes.
you're going towards Walmart, you know.
Yeah.
You turn right to go in there, like
By
you're
the
going.
police office?
No, before that, where you're going to go in that circle roundabout where the eagle or the hawk is.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're close to, and then the river's like right there, and the library's right there, you know. You park there, and you go in that door, and it's like all the seating is to your right, and all the restaurants are to your left, but you walk down that way to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Einstein Bros is in that corner right there.
Okay.
It's Einstein Bros, and then Subway.
I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And on the other side is that Burger Grind, and then Chick-fil-A.
We ate at that Subway when, I don't know if, were you in Kathy Smart's class?
No.
We did some sort of like stupid math competition.
Yeah.
We
I remember a
drove
math
over
competition happening at ULM, but I wasn't part of that.
We drove over there. I knew I didn't get anywhere near possibly succeeding in that.
Yeah.
But I ate a Subway sandwich. It was really good. And then we went to the mall after that. But weird experience.
Yeah. But, yeah, Einstein Bros is a bagel place. They do coffee, they do bagels. They're mainly in colleges. But yeah, there is one at ULM. I don't know if it's staying whenever they move into the hub or not, because apparently the hub they're getting rid of Burger Grind, from what I've assumed, and they're getting like a sushi place.
Oh. Okay.
So, but they're keeping Subway and Chick-fil-A, because those are the two main ones, because they're name brands, you know. You've already said Five Guys, Subway. You've already talked about all those. Okay, so this is what they consider poor. But like a D tier. Baskin Robbins.
I give it a C.
Okay. Like, I think I've been to Baskin Robbins once, and the ice cream was okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Like, it's not, you know, it's not Dairy Queen.
No.
But it's not bad, you know.
I think D is to the point where it's bad.
Yeah, D is to the point where you go and you actually do not want to go again.
Yeah. C is just alright.
Yeah, C is like, you're okay with it, you'll go back again. B is where it's getting, you know, F is like, throw up, you know, this is gag, take one bite and you're done with it. Have you ever been to Bob Evans? Okay.
Never heard of it.
Burger King.
I enjoy Burger King.
I don't know why. It may be because I have a mental disease, but I really enjoy eating the sesame seeds off of the burgers.
Alright. And they're like the only fast food place that's known to do sesame seed burgers.
Yeah. Well, I
want
to say you can get them at In-N-Out. I want to say. I could be mistaken on that. There's definitely somewhere I ate in the West that had sesame
seed buns.
But
they taste so much better. The buns taste so much better with seeds on it.
And I think that's the only thing the Burger King's got going for them. Maybe their Diet Coke tastes good. If they even have Diet Coke. They might have Diet Pepsi. I don't remember.
See, I've been to Burger King like 2 or 3 times. Once when I was really young.
So it's been a while.
But I went when I was a senior in high school.
So it's been a while.
But it was the one across the road from ULM. And they
the one that's burned down twice.
Yes. And we went late at night. They were out of hamburger buns. Sold out.
Did you have to eat off of like...
No, they gave... I had to order the chicken sandwich, but it was the long one. Long bun. Like imagine a hot dog bun, but if you unfolded it and flattened it out. And that's the bun.
So like a McRib?
Yes, but a chicken sandwich.
Okay.
But the chicken wasn't long. The chicken was still circle.
Sure.
So I could still take a bite out of each end and just get bread.
That's funny. And
the fries were...
Man, Burger King did you wrong.
Yeah, they were warm. Well, they were like, I want to get this burger. Oh, we're out of hamburger buns. So I couldn't get a chicken sandwich because they use the same buns. But they don't serve a McRib. You know?
Awful.
I don't know where they got these buns from. And I was like, I don't care. And I had that. It was like, and it was just like plain. I think I just got it with cheese because I didn't want anything else. Because they had like mayonnaise and all that crap on it too, but I didn't want that. And it was alright. I mean, it was mainly bread, but it was still good.
I don't normally feel good about myself after eating Burger King.
Burger King is a place I think a lot of people regret. I don't see, like, I think Burger King is like a D. Because I don't have enough experience to consider it F or anything. I know a lot of people don't like Burger King, but also they are still open and they're still doing really good business, you know. Like on having like the #1 burger chain restaurant out of McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King. Currently Wendy's has, I think, overtaken McDonald's about being better. In my opinion, Wendy's is better than both of them.
I agree.
Because Wendy's has some slapping chicken. It's good to me. It's got one of the best fast food chicken sandwiches, in my opinion, out of those 3.
Even their chicken nuggets, they're pretty good.
Yeah, and then they had those spicy chicken nuggets too, you know, so it's like...
I enjoyed.
And then they'll do like a salad, and they'll put the chicken on the salad, so it's like...
Wait. Is it a taco salad? I think they have a taco salad.
I think they do.
there's some sort
They
of
have
salad
a different salad there.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like a chili salad or something.
Yeah. Well, they serve chili.
They do.
It's like,
Their chili is the bomb.
Like, how many fast food places actually serve a side of chili when you think about it,
I don't think of any except for Texas Roadhouse.
Which, I'll go back to Five Guys.
Yeah.
I don't like Five Guys.
Uh-huh.
I've been once, and I threw up after eating Five Guys.
Oh.
But I think it wasn't Five Guys' complete. It wasn't 100% their fault.
Uh-huh.
We got the bag, and the grease was dripping out of the bottom of the bag. We ate inside. I ate the burger, the whole thing, and I ate fries. I went down and ate Sweet Frog, which was Froyo, after Five Guys. I ate a whole, like, little pint-type cup of, like, frozen yogurt. Then we went somewhere else, and I couldn't make it inside of the bathroom and threw up in the parking lot.
Are you lactose intolerant?
No. It was, I think, the mixture of grease and Froyo is what happened. It was either that or either one of them had to be bad. But that was the only time I ever ate Five Guys, and because of that experience, it, like, scarred me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it was all right eating it, It was like, at the time, it was like B or C. Yeah. But the experience brought it down to, like, D or F for me. And that's why it's like, I physically can't, like, the one in West Monroe, it's closed. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think it's because it took them a long time to get to curbside during COVID. Yeah. And then a lot of people were like, well, if I can get anything curbside, they'd rather go across the interstate and get walk-ons curbside versus Five Guys, So that was my experience. I know there are people that really like Five Guys. You like Five Guys. And, like, just me, it was just because of the experience is what happened. Like, I could have thrown up because of something completely different. Yeah. But because that's what I ate, it just scars you,
I understand.
Have you ever been to El Pollo Loco?
Maybe once. Maybe.
So, it's in the gray area.
I'm not too sure.
I've heard of it, but never been to it. So,
I'll reserve my my right to vote on this one.
Jimmy John's was next. We already said that. Whataburger. Whataburger's so good to me. I love Whataburger. Whataburger's A.
They surprise me sometimes.
With how good they are?
Yeah. Their customer service can be good.
On a good day. They have good and bad days.
Yeah. Their food is always really delicious. I love the spicy ketchup. Love it. You're supposed to have, like, a spicier ketchup or something coming out soon.
I think yeah. And the spicy ketchup's not even spicy, is the thing. It adds such a little hint of something for flavor that makes it so good.
Ketchup should be.
And then, like you said before, the Whataburger Diet Coke.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Slaps.
Yeah.
And they have that weird, like, oblong ice, what they have, Like, you got to get, like, an ice machine to do that kind of stuff. I've had their breakfast taquitos.
Yeah, we got to be careful. I might have to stop and go to work.
But they're 24 hours. I've considered... Like we said, that Waffle House isn't as fast food. Mm-hmm. Whataburger's the fast food version of Waffle House.
Yes.
Because they're open 24 hours.
Yeah.
They both start with a W. And they both have a diner-type vibe.
Yeah.
And it's just really good. Like, their patty melt, I want to try other stuff, but every time I go, I can't not get the patty melt. It's so good. And it's got, like...
it's so good.
And patty melt sauce is just Thousand Island dressing, which is... revolutionary. Yeah. So it's at least like A or S. It's S on a good customer service day. Yeah. It's A whenever they're still bad, but the food's still amazing. And like those fries are really thin, but they give you like 1,000 of them, you know. And there's always like a handful in the bag down at the bottom too.
No, yeah, I agree with you.
Cinnamon rolls.
They're pretty.
And you can buy a pan of cinnamon rolls from there too. So this next one has sentimental value to me, of course, because it's Sonic Drive-In. I'll give Sonic an S all around. The food has never disappointed me. The customer service can be iffy sometimes. It's the experience. how many places do you go to that are only drive-in? Some have in-person locations for Sonic. I have not been to one yet. Mm-hmm. Some have actually where you can go inside and eat inside a building at Sonic. But it's they found their rhythm years ago and they stuck with it of either which they mainly walk, but back in the day, I remember as a kid when they would roller skate to the car. And that right there was like, their ice cream is always good. You can never go on with a blast. Their burgers are pretty good to me. I prefer their chicken though. I actually had Sonic for lunch today. I had the chicken basket. I've always had it. It's so good. The white gravy, I wish they did something else with that because that white gravy can be god-awful sometimes. The onion ring is good to me, but sometimes, it's not that good. But so I always eat it. The bread, they've messed up on the bread with me because it used to be buttered. Now it just tastes burnt every time I bite into it. But the chicken and the fries, like Sonic fries are top tier by themselves.
Yeah.
Mozzarella sticks, tater tots. They always try something different every month. Currently, they brought back the pickle slush and the big dill pickle burger. That's got dilly ranch, which is dill mixed in ranched, pickle fries, and pickle slices all on one burger, which is too much pickle for me. But the pickle slush and then the pickle fries. And then also, this new burger that's coming this month, have you seen it? It's the Chop House cheeseburger.
I don't think I have.
It's just a brioche bun, burger patty cheese, crispy onion strings, and Chop House aioli is the sauce.
Okay.
Which I don't know what Chop House aioli is. Whenever I think of Chop House and onion strings, you use like a barbecue burger or something. So I'll have to try it out probably in another day or two. But S all around. But what do you think?
Give it an A. Because I have had some very, very bad experiences.
I have.
Like, sometimes I want a Route 44 strawberry milkshake.
And you got one that one time.
And I had to go through the conversations of...
I ordered it for you.
I know. But, like, we had to explain to them, just put it in a Route 44.
That's what we said.
And we'll pay for 2 larges.
I was driving. I remember that. I think we told this story before.
Like, it's...
I was driving. I don't know where we were going or where we were coming from.
The novelty of it.
But we drove...
It was on 165.
Yeah, to the Sonic by ULM. And he is like, I don't care what it is.
Which I've had more problems with that Sonic, and we will talk about this.
Okay. But the story was that we were in high school still at the time.
Pre-diabetes.
And you were, which probably caused it.
Another reason.
Led down the road, Annie Ann's and a Route 44 milkshake.
I was working on it the whole time.
And he wanted, John was like, order me a Route 44 strawberry milkshake. And I said, they don't even have that size on the menu. And he's like, I don't care, say it. And I said, I pushed the button, and I was like, I couldn't order on the app because it's not an option.
There.
So I was like, well, I got to push the button now. And I said, can I get whatever I wanted and a Route 44 strawberry milkshake? And then it was like silence for like a minute. And we were just sitting there, I was just staring at the board the whole time because nobody said anything. And then they come back over and they were like, let me get the manager. And so the manager comes. They didn't come out, I don't think they did. They just kept talking to me on the daggum board like, you want a Route 44 strawberry milkshake? And we're like, yes. We just want the milkshake in a Route 44 cup. We want a strawberry milkshake in a Route 44. And then they were like, so... It's like they were programmed only to give what the menu said.
Yeah. Because
they could not fathom the idea of giving a Route 44 milkshake. And they were like, that's a lot of milkshake. And I'm like, I'm ordering a Route 44 strawberry milkshake.
I'll be honest with you, Todd. In working at a store that sells milkshakes, the size milkshake that I got was maybe 5,000 calories.
Yeah, like
that was an ungodly
I think
amount.
It's not that they didn't know what to do. I think they were just so concerned.
They were worried.
They were like, this man is gonna die if you drink all of this in one night.
That was like a YouTube like viral video level of milkshake to drink.
Yeah, like literally, like bring me a 5-gallon bucket full of milkshake,
and I could have done 2.
Yeah,
like it was not that bad.
And so they what they ended up doing was like, well, we're gonna have to charge you for a large and a small, but we'll put it in the cup. And they did put it in the cup, and you ended up getting it. And God, that was so much milkshake.
It was so
I didn't drink any of it, but I had to take it when they handed it to me.
It was heavy.
And it was like, they almost needed like a crane to pull that in.
But it was very good.
But that was one experience. That was just the idea of getting it was funny.
At the exact same Sonic, not more than a week ago.
After that?
No. A week ago.
Oh, we go from now. Oh, okay. Like last week.
I just tried to go there.
Yeah.
Right? I'm on my app. I've been using the app a little more than I ever have.
It's so convenient.
It really is. I got me a Route 44 Diet Coke with extra ice. And I ordered
extra ice?
Yeah.
I do easy ice.
I like the ice.
The ice is good. It's just that I don't want less Diet Coke.
I'm okay with less Diet Coke.
True.
I'll be alright.
Well, if you get Diet Coke soaked ice, then it's good. You know.
I like a lot of ice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ordered this as I'm leaving Hannah Hall. Get into my car. Drive to Sonic. I arrive. I press stall 13. And I wait. And I wait. And I'm sitting here for like 30 minutes.
How many people were there?
It was marginally busy.
What time?
Like 3 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. Well, 2 to 4 is happy hour, but if you do use the app, it's happy hour anytime.
Exactly.
So it's like...
Yeah. But I waited there for like 30 minutes. And nobody ever came. My app was like, oh, you've got your drink.
Thanks for your order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to leave. Like, legitimately,
You left?
Yeah.
You didn't get anything?
I didn't get anything because I had to be... I'm teaching... Well, we'll go into this later, but I'm like... I had to be there for my students.
Yeah.
So... I hadn't drank anything all day.
So you just basically made a charitable donation to that Sonic.
To the Sonic of like $1.40.
Yeah.
For...
You gave just a tip and that was it.
Yeah. But yeah, never got the drink. And I haven't been back to that Sonic. I'm pissed. Like, I want to go every day because I love the Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
But they broke my heart.
You have to go. I mean,
that's why
there's others that are farther. That's just the closest one because it's right there. There's another one that you can, when you leave out of ULM and turn left and just go all the way that way, like you're heading to Start or wherever, you know. But you go around that curve and there's one down there.
Yeah.
That one's okay. I've been there once, but I think I've been to, and then there's the one in front of the mall, which is alright. But Sonic does have some questionable customer service. I will say that.
Yeah.
But
they let us down sometimes, but
yeah. But it's S for me because of just the memories, the experiences I've had, and the way they go about what they do. It's just different than anybody else.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is just a sit down or drive through, and some drive through only. This is drive through only, but it's like you actually sit in your car in one spot instead of having to go behind people and the window and all that. Which some Sonics do have a drive through window, but I hardly ever use that. So the last couple of restaurants here that are considered disgusting: Arby's.
I've never had Arby's. Never had the urge, you know?
They have curly fries.
I like curly fries.
I think that's the only good thing that Arby's has.
Just never had
they have
urge.
the meats.
They do have the meats.
But apparently they're not good.
I've never wanted the meats.
I'm going
to be honest.
Their commercials are so unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want me to eat Arby's. They just make me remember it. They just keep bringing it back from the dead, almost, you know. But some people do like it. Apparently their curly fries are good. I feel like I have to give them D or F just by association.
Yeah. Because
of people that don't like it, you know. Have you ever been to the A&W restaurants before?
No, I haven't. For a funny reason. I don't like root beer.
So true.
I wouldn't like even try.
Yeah.
Because I would assume it would be like all
root beer based. I've been to one and it was a root beer float. Yeah. So yeah, that's why. Unless you can get a Diet Coke float.
That would be delicious.
I think they can. I think they can do that at Sonic because they advertised getting an orange Fanta float before.
Wow.
And like that and Big Red, Coke, and root beer. But I think Sonic. That's another thing why they're S. If you ask for a strawberry milkshake and you're like, I also want a medium order of fries, and can you put the medium order of fries in my milkshake? Sonic will do it for you. As long as you pay for the food, they will do anything.
You know, why don't we just pause the podcast and we'll go to Sonic real quick and pick up a few things?
Yeah, I'll pick up a few things from Sonic.
Yeah, because I really want a Diet Coke float now because I've never even thought of that.
Yeah,
that sounds delicious. It's
so.
I don't think I can
Sonic
get large, though.
No, Sonic is so. Sonic is basically the idea of what if
you were God?
What if character customization was a... what if you were God? Yeah, what if I was God?
That's your title right there. Sonically... Oh my gosh, I'm going to lose it. Sonic is basically the idea that what if you were God?
What if you were God? Well, Sonic is just... It's like those games that have, character customization.
Sims? Like
yeah, Sonic is just fast food Sims. Is all it is.
That's brilliant.
So...
Oh my gosh.
But A&W is alright. What about Quiznos? That was in the Subway area.
You know? I've never been to Quiznos either.
You've only been to Sonic and no other sandwich place.
Yeah.
Look, you said no to Firehouse Subs, Quiznos,
Jimmy
John's, Jersey Mike's.
I think it's like a personality.
Jersey Mike's isn't hot. It's cold cuts only.
And see, those are the ones I like. But there's something wrong with me at this point that I can't go to another like sandwich shop. Like
it's like you own stock in Subway.
Every day, like I'm like, oh, you know, it would be good Subway. I'm never like,
let me try
Jersey Mike's or something
or Jimmy John's.
Like,
there's a Jimmy John's down the road from ULM.
I've never had.
It's by Dairy Queen and Zaxby's.
I know. I drive by it all the time, and I never look at it and go, I wonder what that tastes like. Let's go put some money in it.
And if you do look at it, you just like, Jimmy John's, and that's it.
Yeah, that's like, I don't even know at this point.
I don't know either.
It's peculiar. Like, there's some science to it, I bet.
It's not like an addiction, but
it's an anti-addiction. Like, I'm the opposite.
Where you eat Subway frequently, but you're not eating it like 2 to 3 times a day. Like it's not full on. It's good. You could, but because they offer so many stuff and they do the pizza. I like the pizza that they do too. True.
Raspberry cookies, dude. They slap.
And there's so many combinations you can do because I mean, like Subway sandwich is the same thing. Combination of like drinks at Sonic and slushes and all that.
You know, funny enough, I used to hate Subway for like the first 15 years of my life, and then I met Ross Dana, and he told me about how he his Subway sandwich, and I was like, I'm gonna try it, and I modified it just a tad, and it was the best thing I've ever tasted.
And that's been like the John special every time.
Been the John special every time since. I was like 15 when I started. I'm 22 now. So I've probably eaten more Subway sandwiches than any other article of food at this point in my life.
In the past 7 years.
Yes. Than any article of food.
Yeah.
Like a whole Subway sandwich compared to one single popcorn chicken from Sonic. I've eaten way more
astronomical ratio compared to it.
And I've had a lot of popcorn chicken.
It's good. But Subway sandwiches,
I've had a ton.
I mean, I eat it at least once to twice a week because it's good. I like it, but I always I'm always the same way with. If I like a place, I get the same thing every time.
You don't change.
I don't. If it's good, why do I need to branch out? You know.
No, I've definitely eaten 1 or 2 sandwiches a day, every single day, for months at a time.
Yeah.
Like it.
You could have been the next Jared from Subway.
I've probably eaten more sandwiches than Jared could have even thought about.
Yeah.
I've had more sandwiches than Jared's had children.
Yeah.
I'm telling
but
you.
like you're him just without the whole child part.
Yeah.
Just eating Subway all the time.
Yeah. It's not a
You
good
gotta
diet.
be no.
I don't recommend it. Jared was
You could
lying.
still be the spokesperson though.
Just like he was lying about not having relations with those children.
Also about the weight loss that he said. You could lose weight if you ate healthy stuff from Subway, but you'd have to eat no bread.
Subway's not healthy.
No, and the only way you could do is if you ate the bowl, but with just the greens, and that was it. You know, like you just be having salad from Subway. But the last place they got on here, and then I'll go over some that's not on here. Jack in the Box.
Mm-hmm.
Any relation?
I give it an F.
Is it that bad? They have like 40 things on the menu though.
You know,
No, they have 40 menu items because they do the
ever heard
tacos and
bad
stuff.
things.
Of Jack in the Box.
I've never been. I've only ever heard bad things like cockroaches and such.
And infestations and all that.
In multiple locations.
Oh.
So, I've never wanted to try it. It was worrisome.
I have wanted to try it, and I've driven past some, but I've never... Like, I'll see it, and I'll be like, huh, Jack in the Box. It's like kind of like you and Jimmy John.
Yeah.
I'll be like, huh, Jack in the Box. All right, I'm going to go get Sonic.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like...
Sonic's good.
Yeah, and I know Sonic's good. I don't want to try... The problem is, like, ooh, I want to get Sonic, but let me try Jack in the Box, and then it sucks. And it's like, man, I should have got Sonic, you know?
Ruin your whole week if you do that.
Yeah, like,
just get Sonic.
Yeah, that's always the problem with me is that I don't want to try something and it sucks so bad to the point where I'm like, why didn't I just go to Sonic? Like, it's a major life choice I did not make because I didn't go to Sonic, you know? So,
and I'm going to Sonic
after this.
Yeah. You've inspired me, Todd.
How about your Diet Coke float?
And the CEOs at Sonic should absolutely endorse you because this is a wonderful... Your podcast made me yearn for Sonic. I'm telling you, like...
Well, I'm like a spokesperson.
You should get paid.
I definitely should get paid.
At least from the one location in Rayville. If not all the locations in North Louisiana. They should all give you like a monthly stipend.
True. Get some dollar, few cents per sold meal or something, per sold point. But there are some places I wanted to mention to you. Mm-hmm. They weren't on the list. Zaxby's. Mm-hmm. You have any feelings towards Zaxby's chicken place?
It reminds me too much of Cane's, and I don't like Cane's.
Which Cane's was my next one. So, Cane's.
I'm going to give both of them like a D.
Oh, I would rate Zaxby's higher than that. I like Zaxby's more than Cane's. Only because I like their sauce. And they have, what I get is the nibblers, which are the 3 little sandwiches. Cane's, so many people. The only reason Cane's was rated lower for me a while back is because of the people who said it was so good. And you probably agree with me on that. People will praise Cane's for being S plus almost, just way up there, like God tier chicken, you know, up there with like Chick-fil-A,
but it ain't.
You know, but it's
remember,
okay.
You remember how Five Guys did you wrong?
Yeah. Oh, that happened to you because of Cane's? Oh no.
Let me tell you this story.
Okay.
So, I'm working at Small Cakes, right?
Yeah.
Cane's is open kind of late.
They do stay up until like 11 or 12.
So, I got to drive from Small Cakes to Ruston after 8 o'clock. So, Cane's is open.
It's a decently long drive somewhat.
Let's try some Cane's. So,
yeah.
I got Cane's, right? This is my freshman year in
This
college.
is the experience that I said that I didn't want to have by trying restaurants.
Yes.
You had that.
Because I should have gone to Whataburger like I had always done.
and just get a patty melt, but you're like, hey, I want to try Raising Cane's.
And I messed up.
Made in Louisiana, based here, might as well try it. Yeah.
So I got me my little plate of chicken, right? Well, you know how they have to cook the chicken really fast. They didn't cook the chicken all the way.
Oh.
So I ate chicken, I went to sleep. And I sleep in a dorm, right? A dorm where we have communal restrooms. So think of it this way. There's 2 hallways that run down the middle of a dorm. In the middle are the bathrooms. And on the outsides are all the rooms. So everyone shares the bathrooms. And there's like water fountains along the way. And everybody.
So you can go in and out to the bathrooms on either side of the building, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everybody has. It's a 2-person room, all the way along. So everybody has a roommate.
Yeah.
And a sink in the room. So it's a pretty far walk from my room to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know.
And all you got,
hallway,
and all you got to sink.
I gotta go walk that way, and then go turn that way, and then take a left, and then a little bit more down the hallway, and then I'm in there. You know, so it takes a good few minutes to get to the bathroom. Well, I'm waking up, and I'm like in excruciating pain. Like my stomach hurts.
Like your stomach wants to kill itself.
Like really bad. And I'm like, I'm feeling like worse than I've ever felt in my life before. So like I get up and I'm like stumbling over to the sink to like splash some water on my face. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. And like I can just like feel my stomach churning. And so I'm like, oh, I need to get to a toilet. If I throw up in the sink, I'm screwed. So I'm like trying to go out of the hallway, but like also I don't sleep in clothes. So I'm just wearing underwear, nothing else. I gotta carry some keys with me so I can get back into my dorm.
True.
So I'm in like pretty much naked man walking down the hallway,
just stumbling down the hallway,
green and sick as can be, stumbling down the hallway with his like keys jingling, about to throw up. So I make it to the water fountains. That's as far as I can get.
Yeah.
I throw up in the water fountains. You know those water fountains like in school? Like
the square one, not the bowl ones.
Yeah, like
the square ones
that you drink out of,
but that doesn't have a bowl.
No,
because there are some that have just the pipe with the bowl. But you're talking about like the actual machine.
The actual machine,
flat and has like a little indention for the thing. Well, yeah, that's not
threw up in it.
That's not on it, not in it.
No, I threw up in like the entire top of it. I threw up on.
God.
And then I went.
You gotta wash it away.
All down. So I washed all of that puke into the machine. Never used the machine again. That's probably illegal that I did that. But like,
I hardly doubt it's illegal.
This is like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just going. I'm like, I have no clue what to do. I don't have any cleaning supplies. I can't clean it up. And like, I'm about to throw up some more. So in the middle of me cleaning, I have to go run into the bathroom to finish throwing up.
Yeah.
After I finish throwing up, then I get the diarrheas.
Oh.
And for another like 30 minutes
and then you're just
an hour,
chilling in the bathroom for
chilling.
a while.
My legs go to sleep.
Yeah.
I can't walk anymore.
You're still just in your underwear.
Yeah, still just in my underwear. At this point, I took my underwear off, I think. And I just like hung them from the door.
From the little like coat hanger
do
thing.
Not disturb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough at this point. I think I was like falling asleep on the toilet.
You probably were. I mean, it was 3
and it was still
3 to 4 in the morning.
Things were still coming out.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Like you were just dying.
When I finally got done, I really couldn't walk. I had to clean up the rest of what was in the water fountain because I didn't get it all, and I'm sitting there like splashing with 2 hands.
Yeah.
Getting it all over there. Washing it down there. I never used that water fountain again. They tore the building down, thank God. So, like, at least there's not generations of people being, like, scarred by my throw up. It was only, like, 2 years. But, yeah. finally got all that out of my system, and I went back to sleep at like 7 or 8 o'clock. I had class at like 8:15. Didn't get any sleep that entire night. Sick as a dog, and Canes did it to me. I almost forgot we were talking about Canes.
Yeah, that's where it went to.
That was awful.
But Canes was the root of the whole problem.
Canes caused it.
So
I didn't eat anything else that day, so it was only Canes. And I think it was
and it had to be Canes, and it's probably they didn't cook it enough. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you got a little salmonella or something. You know, something got in your stomach that was like, I don't need this. But I haven't really had a bad experience with Canes to follow that up. I mean, the only reason I don't like them that much is because, one, their chicken is okay, and two, they only have 4 menu items. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. You know, it's like 3-piece, 4-piece, 5-piece, and a sandwich. Yeah, so it's like, whatever, you know. You can get like a pan of them, but yeah, no, I'm not doing that, you know. But yeah, that's the food tier list. At some point in the future, probably create our own, get another computer and put it in our own S, A, B, C, D, and F tiers, you know, of our own, and average them out and all that. So real quick, what you've said before, and you've mentioned on a little bit, that since the last time you've been here, I think it was around that time, or at some point, you actually did graduate from Louisiana Tech.
I did.
You have a bachelor's degree in
biology.
Biology, that is
with
amazing.
A minor in chemistry.
Oh, I actually mentioned last week that last week's episode. As of now, I also have my bachelor's degree in marketing.
Congratulations!
And congrats to you too. We both have succeeded 4-year.
Yeah.
As of now, that 4-year journey is done.
Mine was only 3, thank God.
Mine was a little bit more than 4. But now, since that, you know, I'm trying to find a job. I'm looking, I'm applying, got a resume, all that good stuff. Yeah. But you are on a little bit of a different route.
Yeah.
You are pursuing a master's to get. Are you going any farther? Are you going to be a doctor? So you will be like Dr. John Wright.
Yeah, I think I'll go with JB.
Dr. JB. So
JB Wright.
After you got the bachelor's degree, or when was that moment that you said, I want to get a master's? When and why did you decide that?
I knew I wanted to get a PhD since 8th grade.
Okay.
So it's been a lifelong plan.
This journey, full on.
It was a toss-up between a PhD and an MD. Or a DO, which are all doctors.
Yeah.
But I finally made up my mind in college that I was going to go the PhD.
PhD was the route.
Probably my second year in undergrad. And I honestly didn't even realize the route I would take to get there until a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It was very fast paced. No, there's no handbook to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to figure out unless somebody's there to help you along. Because college is they make it difficult to get a master's degree because they want you to want it, you know?
Yeah.
They want you to chase
you're not going to get a master's degree unless you absolutely have it on your side. You're like, I've got to get a master's degree.
Yeah. But yeah, I decided pretty quickly along the way, and
yeah. Makes sense. Like you said, there's not a handbook or rule book. The rule book kind of ends once you get a bachelor's.
Yeah.
That's the stereotype. You know, you can get a 2-year degree if you want. That's perfectly fine. But most people go for that 4-year or more.
Yeah.
And then when you get that 4-year, and then after that, it's like, okay, well, you're in your 20s now.
This
hopefully,
is the point.
You should do it yourself.
This is the point where you figure it out.
Yeah. So
after you've graduated,
you have enrolled in ULM.
Yeah.
you were...
Which I didn't...
Never thought, probably.
I didn't think it was possible, you know? I was going to go to Mississippi State.
Yeah.
And then I was going to go to LSU.
I think you've said that before.
Yeah.
On here.
That was the plan. But Mississippi State never contacted me, like, after I put my stuff
they
in.
ghosted you?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like it was just poor communication or what. But, like, I was waiting on a response. And they never sent me one. My grandpa was like, hey, they got a plant biology program over at ULM. You should go check it out.
True.
I was like, yeah.
Might as
look
well.
it up.
Yeah,
Click.
Go to the...
So I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you know, I'll apply.
Just why not? Just see what happens.
We'll see. And turns out, it wasn't a plant biology program. It was a ecology lab.
Okay.
Particularly plant ecology and conservation. But it's one of the most prestigious labs in the country, strangely enough. Sheer luck that I was able to get into it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like... I can very easily comprehend how lucky I am to be able to get into it. Because my thesis professor... his methods are basically to put you through a PhD program for your master's program, so you're ready for your PhD program.
Yeah.
He wants people to go get PhDs. That's the kind of people he trains. So that's the program. We write grants. We do big projects that have never been done before. That's why his lab is so much of a big deal. It's like he sends people to Ivy League schools for their PhD for free from ULM.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. This is just a rinky-dink school in Louisiana.
That's mainly like business and pharmacy
nursing.
And construction school. And yeah, the nursing is like, we got one of the best nursing schools around. And then we have hidden into the shadows over here, like this big deal.
It is. They built one of the... I won't say one of the first, but it was one of the... It was at least in the top 20 of the first carbon flux towers in the country. So, carbon flux is a measurement, and they also measure other things like humidity, temperature, things of that topic. All measures this, and they use that data to report it to like USDA to sort of allow like preparations of how much water you can allot to each plot of land.
Oh, okay.
So the distribution of the Mississippi River's reserves.
Yeah.
Right. And they've got to plan this out over hundreds and hundreds of miles, but there's only this one carbon flux tower in Russell Sage, right next to the garbage dump in Millhaven.
Yeah.
But this is used for the dispersal of like how much water we can use in the entire state. It's crazy.
Just hidden behind the dump. Hidden behind the dump is like one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Like land and crop wise that we need.
But the reason we have it out in the forest is because bottomland hardwood forests are really important too. If you don't have forests, you have what happened in the Midwest in the early 1900s when
the Dust Bowl. Yeah.
So no trees means there's nothing to reflect the light back into the atmosphere. So it gets really, really, really hot. Turns desert conditions.
Yeah.
A lot less water, and you have a big dust bowl. All the plants die, and it just goes crazy. So if you allocate too much water to crops, the trees die, and that's what happens. So you have to be able to disperse
they just get
your
like
water
flooded out, basically.
Evenly.
And we haven't had a lot of floods recently. This rain right here is really, really needed. It is probably going to help the forest.
Well, it's supposed to rain for the next 4 to 5 days, too, so
this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
But we're keeping track of all of those measurements it's the characterization of all of those factors in that forest, of how that forest functions. And this kind of research has never been done before. It's groundbreaking research. Super awesome stuff.
You're over here doing groundbreaking things.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited to be a part of it. It is so awesome.
Yeah.
But not only that, I'm like teaching classes.
So you're like a grad assistant, right?
Yeah, I'm a graduate assistant. So I'm pretty much a faculty member, but I don't get all the benefits of faculty members. I don't get a good parking spot.
Do you get paid?
I get paid.
Okay.
I have my own office.
Okay.
Which is, I get to decorate it. It's real cute. I got some Legos in there. I got my books in there.
Yeah.
Got my degree hanging up on my wall.
But you just kind of... Well, it's because you're treated in that area between a student there enrolled and an actual teacher. Yeah. Like you're in that middle area where you're treated as a student, but you work there.
But I am treated as a colleague to the professors. Yeah. At this point, even in classes where I'm learning, they treat us like colleagues. Like we're working together. And
you're not really below them, kind of, because you have a degree. No, you have the education.
They treat you as somebody who really cares about what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's all those little rascals freshmen who just join.
Yeah. University class, all that kind of stuff.
They didn't come to college because they wanted to. They don't care.
Yeah.
The professors don't care about them.
Yeah.
But these students that are in a master's program, the professors do care. And it is really, really... it's a whole new world in education. It's like enjoyable. I didn't enjoy going to school for the first...
No.
I'm in 17th grade now, which is really strange. Really, really weird. But like the first 12 years of that, I hated school.
Yeah.
And then for the next 4 years, I hated school. Yeah. And for the next 3 years, I hated school. But this is like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not like... It's a lot of work, but I'm not like overwhelmed. It just feels like a 9-to-5 job on
Well, yeah, because you're working, but you're also still like learning.
Yeah.
But
I get paid to go there though.
Yeah, you're getting paid to go to college.
Like this is a free degree.
Yeah. Which is
because
weird.
Of the like it's so weird.
But you're also teaching or help teach a class.
3
classes.
Yeah.
So you're taking classes. And then you leave to go teach a class or help with it.
Yeah, I take classes. I've got classes that I teach, and then I've also got a research position. When working on the tower, or we've got a couple other things we're doing with drones.
Okay.
Where they do
to see about the same thing with the land and all that. Or?
Yeah. So they take pictures using IR.
Okay.
And we call it spectral ecology.
All right.
Which is another groundbreaking thing.
Yeah.
We use... I'm not going to go into all of our details. Right. I don't want to spoil. But we use technology to basically tell us what's happening with the forest. And that stuff is really, really cool and interesting. But my research is going to be into that kind of stuff, where my thesis is going to be on it. But yeah, doing all that stuff at the exact same time. And it's very...
You're in like all positions. Because you're researching this stuff.
Yeah.
You're still taking classes and learning while helping the younger classmen, the lower classmen, you could say, helping them learn. Because it's like you're teaching like actual like lecture classes, or is it like a lab? Or
so because
you're probably in that biology area, probably is where you're at.
Yeah, so I'm at the point where I'm teaching labs, but as I go on, it'll turn into lectures.
Okay.
Because I'm just starting, but
you're helping the hands-on version.
I'm teaching anatomy and physiology. 2 of those actually, and then I've got a biological principles where I'm the shadow TA sort of. Where I still do the grading and such, but I don't like solely teach it.
You're not the only person getting up there and saying, "Hey, look at this." You know.
But for the anatomy, I am.
Yeah. You're the only teacher in there.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like?
It's freaking.
What's it like being in front of the class? Oh, not every day, but every other day or however often.
I've only done it once so far.
Yeah.
So it's strange because like these kids are looking at me like I'm older than them. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm the same age as you, is what I'm seeing. But like it's very weird. I had some dude come up to me in one of my classes that I was teaching. He was like, "Hey, my name's John too." I was like, "Yeah, cool. I like that name." But like people want to be friends with their teachers. Like you can't do that. That's an ethics violation.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, damn. I'm sorry, bud.
Sorry, other John.
But no, we can't.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of hard because you're not like a 60-year-old dude or something.
Like I've got stuff in common with some of these people, but
like you're pretty much the same age, and like.
But like if you were in my class, I would have to either remove myself from teaching that section or kick you out of the class. Like it's like ethics violations. There's all kinds of like rules and such with
There's that rule book that we don't really pay attention. As students, we don't pay attention to it because
the teachers do really heavily, even when you can't tell. Like I didn't realize, but a lot of things that teachers do, you're saying, oh, they have to follow this, and this.
Yeah.
All these regulations.
I got you. Which, I mean, that makes sense that they can't, like, be all buddies with a classmate.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of, like, students will try that, to get a better grade.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bump it up to an A or something,
They're not legally allowed to accept gifts of, like, excess of, like, $25. So, like, if I were to bring a professor...
Because it's a bribe then, right?
I think it's just, like... an excessively large gift. But like you can accept like a $25 gift card. But if I brought you like a dozen cupcakes from Small Cakes and you were my professor, you wouldn't be able to accept that.
Okay.
Because it's like $40 worth of
Well, what if it's like you brought the dozen Small Cake cupcakes and it's like for the class, but
that's allowed.
And the teacher can have
That's
just
allowed.
like one or something because it's for everybody.
That's totally fine.
Okay.
But if you were just bringing it to your professor,
like if I just gave it to you and was like, "Hey, happy birthday,"
no,
and then you'd be like,
not allowed.
"No, I'm not. I can't."
Yeah. But you can't. You're also not supposed to say, "Oh, I can't take this. I'm not allowed to." You're supposed to like do it
just
another way.
Improv somehow. You got to improv it. You just
Same way if like a student tells you they have a crush on you, you're not supposed to say, "I'm not allowed to have a crush on you." You're supposed to say, "I don't feel the same way."
Yeah.
Because if you tell them that I'm not allowed, it's like a Romeo and Juliet, like, oh, it's forbidden.
Oh, I'm not allowed to.
Exactly. You're not supposed to do that.
Interesting.
There's some rules in there. It's interesting.
Oh. But okay. That makes sense, though. So it's like, yeah, you can't do this, but you gotta, like, make it seem like you're not, like, you're following the rules, but you got to make it seem like there are no rules that are being followed.
Yeah.
Like they're the shadow rules or something like that. That makes sense, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like I understand that, but you're going to do that for like all the way up until May, probably, or
no? It's a 2-year long degree, so I'll be doing it for
the teaching for the next 2 years then?
Maybe 2.5, depending on how long it takes to finish up.
That would be like May 25 then?
No, it should be 2024.
Oh yeah, 24.
I should be able to do it before 25.
Yeah.
And the PhD is like 4 to 7 years. I'm gonna try it in 4. You
got to.
If I can get through that.
I mean, if you do that, that means you'll be at least like 30.
Yeah. And have
a PhD. And then that would be wild. Like, the idea. Like, hey, I'm 30 years old. I have a PhD, Like, I'm a doctor, But, very interesting stuff. I gotta say, very interesting. You know, I'll have to come back another couple of months, see if anything happens in your classes.
Yeah. I think I have to climb a tree in the next couple weeks.
Oh.
You know how you see those like TikTok videos of the guy wearing the spikes on his shoes, the thing wrapped around the pole?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get to do that.
Oh, okay.
That's
Interesting.
gonna be fun.
Well.
Kind of scared. I do have like a history climbing though. Like I know how to climb stuff.
You can climb stuff, you know.
But
no, like
that's
that.
different. That's 75 feet up in the air.
Yeah. Well,
your only harness is a tree hugger.
True, which is not the best, but still, you know.
It's just a piece of rope.
That you know, that's kind of true. But more power to that, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of months to years with that. So, to go ahead and go into the last topic, I should say, to talk a little bit about Marvel, about what's going on there. So, She-Hulk premiered this last week. What are you thinking? I have watched the first episode.
Yeah.
And
I'm ready for the second.
This will come out on Saturday, so we can just talk about the first episode. So, I like it. It was not as long. It was only like 40 minutes or something, too.
Yeah. I really did enjoy it. I really, really liked the post-credit scene. That was the first Marvel TV show post-credit scene. Loved it. I thought that was hilarious.
Apparently, I don't know if this was confirmed or not. Apparently, every episode of She-Hulk is supposed to have an end credit scene.
I love it. I love it.
They're giving us something because I didn't like it, the thought of it, but it's kind of growing on me about her breaking fourth character or breaking the fourth wall.
It just reminds me of Deadpool.
That's what it's saying.
It's not but then, I don't.
If they do that, they're gonna have to have She-Hulk and Deadpool.
No, they will
break the fourth wall at the same time. You know,
it will happen.
Yeah, it will definitely happen. Once we get to the Deadpool and X-Men side of things, it will happen. So.
Yes, we're gonna have some crossovers. I need it.
So what you already probably know that I had it here that Daredevil is in this series, and they're hinting that either at the end of this show, because he already has his own show, you know that Daredevil Born Again,
which is so fun. That they're doing that.
That they're hinting at the end of this series, either like Iron Fist, Luke Cage, or the Punisher will show up.
Love Punisher.
So they're thinking it's going to be still John Bernthal.
I hope so.
Playing the Punisher. I mean, you can't really have anybody else.
I need the Punisher and Spider-Man interaction.
Yeah, I
especially new Spider-Man.
They're probably you know the animated Spider-Man that they're doing, the new one.
Yes.
That's like alternate universe. That instead of Tony Stark was his mentor, it was Norman Osborn, which is weird. But they're bringing back X-Men '97.
Good.
There, because apparently that's going to be the X-Men versions of X-Men that'll be in the MCU in live action.
Good.
From what I've heard, and that's the Fox deal, that they can make X-Men movies. They cannot make X-Men movies titled X-Men. That's why they have to be called The Mutants. That's why they're thinking of making a movie called The Mutants.
I understand.
But up until 2025, once after that, they're free to do whatever they want with X-Men. But if they want to make X-Men characters or anybody, they can only call them the Mutants up until 2025, and they have to use the same actors. So they have to use Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. They have to use James McAvoy as young Professor X. And
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, and then Magneto's, both of them.
I think Patrick Stewart expressed that he would be down to
he would do it, you know. I mean, he wouldn't do much stuff physical because he's like 90
But they're going to put
old.
him back in that wheelchair because that's
he's got to be in the yellow chair. Yeah,
that's
the
how
yellow
it was in
chair.
97. I think.
So up until then, they said apparently the X-Men will not really show up until after Secret Wars. That way they can be with Fantastic Four.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. I think that's how they're going to associate things. It's going to be Fantastic Four and X-Men are grouped together. And I think they already started that with what was on
WandaVision or Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange, yeah.
The multiverse
into
of madness.
the Wandaverse, you know.
Yeah. with John Krasinski's Fantastic Four and Professor X.
Yeah,
you know,
they were already very closely associated.
Well, that means they'll also have like Inhumans because of Black Bolt as well. Because you got the Avengers and then basically all the other groups. So, but that means you'd have like the Avengers and the Defenders with Daredevil, and then on the other side you got the Fantastic Four, X-Men. Maybe like X-Force with Deadpool and all them, and Domino and all that, because they're currently writing Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is helping write, making the rated R Deadpool 3. A lot of people say that Blade should be rated R, which would be really good.
I hope so.
Moon Knight will be in Blade, and apparently Dracula is the main villain of Blade. The guy who plays Homelander in The Boys, Anthony Starr, is apparently going to be Dracula, the villain in the Marvel movie, fighting Blade. The only movie left to come out this year is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which is going to be sad because Chadwick, he's dead. But in the movie, apparently T'Challa died before this movie took place. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Secret Invasion, Guardians 3, Echo, Loki Season 2, The Marvels, Blade, Ironheart, Agatha. That's all next year.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil, the next Captain America movie, and the Thunderbolts is all in 2024.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four.
I'm very excited.
At the end. And that starts Phase 6 to head into Avengers The Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars in the same year of 2025. So many people are thinking that Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, of course they've already released the trailer because Namor is the villain, that the end credit scene is Doctor Doom.
I hope so.
They think that they've already, it was rumored that they've already got, the actor has already filmed their scenes for a mid or post credit scene that they're going to introduce Latveria with Doctor Doom, and he's going to be the main villain of, Atlantis or Wakanda or whatever,
Yeah.
And that's how they got to do the Fantastic Four. And then so many people said, well, who's going to be Doom? It can't be, the second Fantastic Four movie was god-awful, with the skin Doctor Doom, I don't know who was that. I thought the guy in the original ones with the Silver Surfer, I thought he was good as Doctor Doom. A lot of people say they want Michael Fassbender, who played young Magneto, as Doctor Doom.
I don't know.
It's got to be somebody like British or not American, because he's Latveria, which is in Europe, but it's a fake country. But apparently, I don't know if you heard this, in season 2 of Loki that they're filming now, the character Hyperion is going to be there, which is the Superman for Marvel, and it's going to be Henry Cavill. Who played Superman is going to be Hyperion in Loki season 2.
I love it.
And apparently that'll introduce his group, which is like Marvel's actual version of the Justice League. I don't know what they're called. There's something league or group or whatever.
Okay.
But
this is all very exciting.
It's a lot. They're getting more into it. Like this past year or two, they really had no direction.
Yeah.
Everything's different, but they're now slowly getting into it. And apparently, like I've said with the She-Hulk thing that I'll get into too, they're planting the seeds with this show to have, because currently Hulk, the solo movie rights is still owned by either Sony or somebody else. That's why they cannot, and Abomination still has to show up as well. That's why they've not made a Hulk movie since The Incredible Hulk, is because they don't have the rights to do that. He can be in other stuff with people. They can't make a movie solely about him. Apparently at the end of this year or beginning of next year, they get the rights. Disney gets the rights. And because of that, a World War Hulk movie with Sentry is apparently coming up. Which is, of course,
I want to see some Red Hulk, some Gray Hulk. I want to see
all the Hulks.
The whole family.
From the first episode, that ship that a lot of people thought is the Hulk's son from Sakaar. Because whenever Hulk was on Sakaar, they think that Hulk got with a woman and that Hulk's actual son, I forgot his name, but
this is interesting.
He's like a Hulkling, is because he's an offspring of the Hulk. Because the Hulk was the Hulk. He wasn't Bruce Banner, in Sakaar with Jeff Goldblum. But apparently, his son might show up at the end, but then they might introduce Sentry at some point, which is going to be pretty interesting because I like that character. And that World War Hulk might be a thing. We might finally get another solo Hulk movie. But, I mean, in the comic book War, Hulk was the Illuminati sent Hulk to Sakaar, and that's what Planet Hulk happened.
I want Planet Hulk
yeah.
so much.
And then the Illuminati thought that would be which was Strange, Professor X, Black Bolt, and Iron Man, and Mr. Fantastic was there too, Reed Richards. They thought that Planet Hulk was going to invade Earth, and then that's when they tried to like destroy it or whatever. And then that's when Hulk fought Black Bolt because the Inhumans were on the moon. And then Black Bolt yelled, but Hulk put his hand over his mouth, and Black Bolt's head exploded. And that's how he killed Black Bolt, using his own, voice. But there's still some untitled projects from like different series at the end of 24 and all the ones in 2025 because they all lead up to Avengers Secret War in November 2025. So
be a long time coming.
It's a lot of stuff that's happening. So, but out of everything that we've talked about, and also like Thor: Love and Thunder, we didn't even mention that. How did you think of that movie? I liked it.
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah.
I heard people were just like,
they want more serious Thor.
They don't like serious Thor, but also they want more serious Thor. Make up your mind. You didn't like the serious Thor.
Yeah, Thor: The Dark World is one of the worst MCU movies.
Yeah,
so.
But Taika Waititi does good at comedies, and I enjoy his work. So I support him, and I really did like it. It's fun.
But out of all these movies and series that we talked about, which one do you think is you're most excited about? All the way up until Avengers Secret Wars of 2025. Because you got those two Avengers movies, Fantastic Four, the Daredevil series, Loki season
Loki's
2,
my
May 2024, Captain America, New World Order.
I'm thinking Loki's still my champion.
I think out of series-wise, Loki.
Yeah.
Movie-wise, Fantastic Four. That and the Secret Wars. I mean, it's going to be weird because Fantastic Four movie happens exactly 1 year before Secret Wars comes out. So they only have a year that sets that up. Not to mention, that don't even mention all the animated ones, too.
Yeah.
With What If Season 2 apparently is coming out at the end of this year, beginning of next year, something like that. So it's a lot.
It is.
It's quite a lot. So, well,
I do have another topic.
Okay.
I don't know if you've spoken about this with anyone else yet, or if you even know about it yet, but they're sending humans back to the moon.
Okay.
And this is the Artemis. You know how like they have Apollo?
Yeah.
Artemis is Apollo's sister. So they're sending, I think, the first colored person to the moon and the first woman to the moon. And this is in efforts to begin building a base on the moon. This is the United States doing this. The first launch, which is, I believe, it's an unmanned test launch, is August 29th. Okay. They're going to launch a satellite that goes to the far side of the moon.
Just circling it?
It's going to circle a few times, and it's going to come back to the Earth and crash. And they want the data from the pictures and all that kind of stuff that's taken as it is a satellite.
Basically doing like a Google Earth for the moon.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're doing, but that is a scheduled launch, and this is Artemis 1 that they're launching now, I think. But yeah, so they're just going to go through the Artemis spaceships until they get to that manned mission where they actually send people to the moon. And this is really cool stuff. I actually hadn't heard about it until last night. So nobody really knows about this. They're not
August
talking about
29th, 2022.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard of that.
This is the first launch of this mission.
The last flight, as of right now, will be for May 2024, is what they plan to send the first female and the first astronaut of color onto the moon's south pole.
Yeah, where they're looking for ice.
The last Apollo was Apollo 17 on December 1972. The last crewed landing, which was...
It's been a long time, like 40...
That's 40-something
years?
That's 50 years.
50?
Yeah, because 1972 and 2022. So, it'd be in 2024 by the time they send like an actual person that lands there and walks on it. That'll be 52 years since that's 2-3 generations, of people. But
that's very, very, very interesting.
They started it in December 2017 was the plan that started, but it's currently in the next last 2 years, and the next 2 is costing $35 billion.
Shoosh, that's a lot. But I did hear about this when they did all the space race stuff in the 60s and 70s. They didn't save any of the plans for all of these rockets. So the reason that it's so costly and it's taking so long is because they had to completely rebuild all of their plans.
It's like basically
from scratch.
They're basically redoing it.
Exactly. This is all from scratch. They just completely redid everything because they don't have... Some of the other people that designed it are dead, and they didn't keep any of the papers because it was too expensive to store. So, yeah, just
interesting.
Keep up with that.
I'm going to have to now.
I'm super excited for the next 2 years of space travel.
This says the Artemis project was supposed to be a private spaceflight venture to establish the permanent self-supporting base on the moon by 2002.
Yeah.
Was when it was supposed. So 20 years later is now. It was named Artemis because of the goddess of the hunt, and some myths the moon and twin sister of Apollo. The Lunar Resources Company formed the Artemis Society as a non-profit NGO in 1994. They also believe that their costs would be a fraction of what the government, such as NASA, would have spent, because they like to spend a bunch of money. But this was when they tried to do their own thing, but it didn't work, apparently, because they wanted to do it they started in the 90s, and they were like, what if we try to go to the moon by 2002 and have an actual base? Well, that was 20 years ago, and we still don't have a known base.
Yeah.
Because there's all those conspiracies, of people who work for the government that say, oh yeah, we've had a base on the moon and we talked to aliens and all that kind of stuff, It's like, well, I don't know if that's real or just a crazy person talking. It'd be cool if it's real. Because I talked about this before, like if aliens were proven real, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked that they said something, but I would not be surprised because the galaxy and the cosmos is so big. How's there not anything else out there?
At this point, I would be absolutely floored, aghast if there was no aliens. I don't think it's possible for there not to be aliens.
That I've said this saying a bunch of times, but the saying that somebody said was that there's 2 possibilities. Either we're not alone and there's aliens, or we are alone and there's nothing else out there, and both are equally terrifying.
I think it's more terrifying if we're alone.
Can you imagine if we are it?
Yeah.
8 billion people on the planet, and then there's only 8 billion life forms in the whole cosmos galaxies.
It's not possible.
It's not. Because what type of alien could live on Jupiter? If it's a land-based alien, it's got to be Moon, Mars, stuff like that.
So carbon-based life forms are what we assume is life.
Yeah.
We don't know if there's
could they be
else.
Hydrogen-based life forms or something like that? Or
we don't know.
There could be a nitrogen-based life form.
I'll take that back. Probably we understand how our elements work, but we exist in a solar system that exists in
a galaxy
that has billions, probably millions and millions and millions of solar systems. But there's also millions and millions and billions of galaxies within the universe. So you're telling me that all of those have the same elements? Every single galaxy works on the same elements? I don't know if that's necessarily true. And
it's very slim possibility, because how would we be able to be all our elements have been discovered, and we discovered every element ever?
Maybe we just discovered the elements that were allotted to us in this galaxy.
And here, but it's because they talk about Pluto or Uranus or one of them, that it rains diamonds.
It's Neptune and Uranus.
Yeah,
but that's pressure,
because of how much pressure there is on the planet.
Yeah.
And they have diamond rain.
Yeah, and
which got that
temperature. It has to do with temperature
and it's so
pressure.
cold.
Yeah,
because it's like it's freezing.
There was a video on TikTok I saw where this guy he took, I believe it was carbon dioxide, and super cooled it.
Yeah.
Until it became a liquid.
Yeah.
And then heated it up until it became a gaseous cloud, cooled it down again until it rained in a pressurized chamber. All of that had to do with temperature and pressure, which is exactly what happens on those planets. It's just crazy extreme temperatures. One side's facing the sun, one side's facing the cold ends of space. Pressure and all that's just going to go crazy.
That was like that one thing that I heard that was like it was some like fire planet or something. Mm-hmm. But when it's facing the sun, it's like thousands and thousands of degrees up in the Kelvin up there, Yeah. And then the other side, freezing, And they said that there's only a thin line where the sun meets the darkness. Yeah. That's the livable space.
This is Proxima B you're talking about.
Yeah. Like it's
that's
that
the planet.
That belt that you could live on.
That's the closest.
I don't know how wide it is, but still,
It's the Twilight Zone, and that is the closest planet to us that might have life.
But is that worth it? Is it worth it that we can move to a planet we can only live on a ring around it? Like we're basically living on like a halo ring around this planet.
Yeah, the
only way it would be good is if it was like for video game essence, like mining colonies. Like that kind of thing, not living.
I don't think you could. We would have to get to a point where we're so technologically advanced so that we have robots doing things for us. Like that would be our colony. I don't think we could send people because they wouldn't live long
It has
enough.
to be like
4 light years away.
Unmanned mining colonization type thing. Where if there's like some mineral that we really need, they can go get it from there.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, you take one wrong step, you're either froze to death or you're melting.
They need to be AI, where they can think by themselves.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to work.
Because if they're not, if they break down, they'll need somebody to go fix them.
Yeah. It's because we can't control it from here. They're like, it's too much space for a control signal to travel. Like it just won't happen.
Like the only way
we don't have anything that's strong enough to
you
transmit.
could send a signal to do it, but it would be
a long time.
Very long before something happens.
But the thing is that we're receiving signals from that area.
Yeah.
At this point, that's why we would go, because there's a
we
side
know
of
something's there
in that solar system. Something's sending us signals.
Yeah.
And they're trying to
and it can't be nothing we've done.
No,
because we've sent some satellite way out there.
It's proof of life.
Yeah.
Because the transmission that's being sent can't be created any other way.
Naturally.
It's technology.
Yeah.
That's all it is to it. It's not like a solar flare from a distant star or anything. Like, it's radio transmission.
It would have to be something sent by somebody, another life form, or something very strong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it could be like black hole or planet exploding or something like that. Maybe
another cool thing. They did figure out they have officially published the sound that black holes make.
I saw that. I didn't listen to it, but I saw it.
It sounds like a banshee from Halo. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
We need to play it because it's absolutely insane how uncanny that sound is. And I think I might have it quicker.
This was published 3 months ago.
I have it here. Sounds like a banshee flying around.
It does. Can you imagine
It's
that?
eerie.
That's like horror movie type stuff.
But like, close your eyes and listen to that.
I feel like I can hear it moving.
Like you can see the spin almost.
Yeah.
Like it's like
the way it moves is that
there's
it's like it's some like a speaker, but it's like a fan slowly moving in the circle.
It's something so big that we can't imagine.
Yeah.
Like
and what happens to you physically is not understandable because it breaks you apart. Like they say, because
spaghetti.
If it puts you in it, it could put you out somewhere else. But where? And you're dead.
And when?
Yeah. And then I even discovered there was something called a white hole, which is the opposite of a black hole. Black hole sucks everything in. A white hole can't take anything in, but it shoots everything out. But of what? It shoots just matter, you know. That's just shooting stuff out that it doesn't have. You know, it's weird, you know. But the idea, like the conversation of black holes, is just a thing in and of itself because of how weird and just not wrong, but of just how they don't make any sense that we don't have.
It's crazy
because it's the Interstellar movie.
It is.
I haven't watched that movie fully through, but I need to. But it's because we created time, but
it's a concept though.
Yeah, time is not a real thing,
and it's relative.
Yeah, it's that we created it just so we would have something to know. That if there was no time, you follow the sun. We use that as the time. That's what tells us what time is. It's just our sun.
Yeah.
But then you go to Mars, and time is different.
It's a soul.
Yeah.
Instead of a day.
It takes longer time for it to go around the sun than us. In Earth days, it says that Mars takes like almost 600 days. So it's like almost 2 years in Earth to get around the sun. So it's like... And then there's that thing in like a couple billion years, the Andromeda galaxy will collide with the Milky Way galaxy, and everything. No one will be dead anyway. But
I mean,
because if two suns collide, that's what makes the black hole or supernova or something.
Yeah, I don't think like.
But how fast are they moving?
You know, you see Star Wars and all those like massive asteroid fields that are like so close together. That's not how that is.
Yeah,
like.
I feel like they would hit each other too much.
They're going to be so the hundreds and thousands of miles away from one another. Like you won't be able to see another asteroid from an asteroid. That I feel like space is infinitely large. So your galaxies are going to follow this same sort of physics. Probably, I don't know. This is science way above me.
Yeah.
But just like your asteroids won't be close together, the stars and solar systems in your galaxies aren't going to be close together either. So they're not going to like collide like crazy. But like if something does collide, that one dangerous thing is going to be very far away from everything else.
Yeah. Like two suns colliding in itself, that's a big deal. But like
in the grand scheme of things,
that stuff has happened.
That's one sun out of a billion.
Yeah, that stuff has happened in our... What was it? That they said that two suns or two stars collided like 30 years ago or something, but we wouldn't hear it or know about it, or we wouldn't see it for another 1,000 or so years, you know, because of how long it's going to take to get here. Like for it's moving very fast, like astronomically fast. But like you said, because the galaxy is so big, full of nothing and dark matter and stuff, is that it's got to get... There's no friction for it, so it's just going to keep going at a steady pace. Like, you start running, or you jump up, you're going to keep going up, because it's the same, you know, Newton's law, you know, every motion... I don't remember all of it, but that you're going to keep going until you hit something, you know. And that's like with gravity and all that, you know, and planets have less or more gravity, you know, like the sun has astronomical gravity because it's keeping all of us around it, you know. If it was less gravity than it had now, we'd be dead, or we wouldn't have made it this far, you know. It's too much. It's
a lot of science.
It's a lot of stuff to talk about, but
a lot of thinking for 6:10 on a Monday.
That's pretty true. But with all that being said, is there anything you'd like to add to end it off?
No, the space stuff was my addition.
And that's true. It was a good addition because space is.
Yeah, I just wanted
it's
to.
It's interesting, and you brought
that being known,
and you brought the Artemis project to my knowledge.
It's going to be a big deal.
That we're basically having. It's the next Apollo that's going up. You know,
we're putting a base on the moon. That's the coolest. Like that is like childhood stuff.
That it's literally like. I mean, it's stuff that you only dream about, and it's stuff that's like. It's movie and video game type stuff. That's like this can't be real. We're gonna have literally a moon base.
Yeah.
And then there's that thing of like the space elevator and all that kind of stuff too.
Which I don't think that's.
I don't think that. How does that happen? Because it's just a long elevator.
Okay, wait. I think possibly to orbit.
No, it can't go to the moon. It couldn't go to the moon because we would have to drag the moon with it, you know.
No, I mean like possibly to orbit.
It would go to right out of the atmosphere to where they can get to it, and then that's where it is.
You're gonna run into a lot of space junk, you know. So you're gonna have to make it out of something that's not gonna completely destroy it when you have a satellite hit it.
And you know, definitely they're gonna have to like keep it guarded because. Somebody's going to crash a plane into it too, so
no fly zone.
Yeah, or get shot down.
What if you put it at a pole, like a North Pole? I don't know how.
Does the North Pole have more land, or is this the South Pole? South Pole was Antarctica.
It's just a lot worse down at the South Pole at this point in time. Cold. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard to. Launch rockets in cold, so maybe I could be wrong, but I don't know. It's something because the air is thinner.
Yeah,
it takes a lot more
because you need the fire needs oxygen to be lit.
Well, no, I think it has liquid oxygen tanks, but it takes.
But would it be harder
something to push?
Is it harder to light it like 100-degree weather or 30-degree weather? You know,
it's easier to light at 100-degree.
Because.
But like you have to have something the rocket's pushing against. So when there's more density of atoms in the air, they have more to like bolster it up as the propellant pushes down.
Yeah. I think that's probably what they would do because I mean you couldn't have it like.
I think that like
the only other place they could have it is like in the middle of the Pacific because you got to get it away from everybody.
Yeah.
But that's what they would do is do it to orbit. That way ships could just pick it up instead of having to come all the way back down to Earth. Because it'd make it easier for transport and stuff and people.
I don't know exactly how gravity works for the orbit. I don't know if the magnetic field affects that. But I feel like the safest place would probably be like North Pole. Like to put it up there, nobody's flying up there. Like, you would have to make that a destination to fly to at that point.
Yeah. Because it's not an airport up there, you know. It's like, and if it's military and government only, then you would have basically like an Area 51 type base up there.
Exactly.
Where it's no fly zone. You fly any closer, you're going to get shot down type thing.
Might have some trouble with Russia. Russia's kind of close.
True. Well, that's the only reason Antarctica would be good.
Put it in North Dakota.
Put it next behind Mount Rushmore over there. So, cool. It's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But after all that, John, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You'll be back definitely again for updates on your teaching and more space stuff. Artemis Project will be in full effect by the time that happens.
Hopefully.
So, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
As always, please rate and subscribe. And if you're listening on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And click that bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded. And make sure you follow the Toddcast only on Instagram at @_Toddcast_ for all your Toddcast social media needs. Make sure you tell your friends and your family or anybody really to give it a listen. And thank all of you for listening to this episode. And if you want to know what's going to happen next week, well, I guess you're just going to have to tune in to find out.
only on the Toddcast.